Welcome back to my another session. In this session, I'm going to explain you about the introduction to analysis of algorithms. So these are the following topics you need to learn, that is introduction, complexity of algorithms, elementary data structures, divide and conquer, the greedy method, dynamic programming, backtracking, branch and bound, NP hard and NP complete problems. So these are the important topics which cover the entire syllabus of design analysis and algorithms. Now let us continue with the topic called introduction about the algorithms. So now we will first see what is the definition of an algorithm. The word algorithm comes from the Persian name Abu Jafar Muhammad, and simply we can define as an algorithm is a finite set of instructions that, if followed, accomplishes a particular task. So I want to say that simple definition: an algorithm is a step-by-step procedure which is used to solve a particular task. So this is a simple definition of an algorithm. I repeat, the word algorithm comes from the Persian name called Abu Jafar Muhammad, and an algorithm is defined as step-by-step instruction to perform a task. So to perform any task, and in addition to that, all algorithms must satisfy the following criteria. So to perform any task, the algorithm should follow the following criteria like input, output, finiteness, definiteness, and effectiveness. So when coming to the point of input, so without any input, we cannot perform any algorithm. Then it will be useless if there is no input. So here I want to say that to perform any algorithm, it should have either 0 or more quantities of input to be supplied to perform a given task. Okay, students? Next comes the output. What is meant by output? Whenever we are providing some input, whenever we are providing some input, definitely it should provide some output. That is, it can be either one output, or it depends upon the sequence of instructions provided in the input. Okay, means at least one quantity is to be produced. That is the meaning of output. Next comes the finiteness. What is the meaning of finiteness? So simple, before going to the meaning of finiteness, just we'll see what is meant by finite. Finite means limited number of steps. Means after performing certain steps, the algorithm must be terminated and it should give the proper answer. So now see finiteness. If we trace out the instructions of an algorithm, then for all the cases of algorithm should terminate after a finite number of steps. Okay, that is the meaning. The algorithm should be terminated after the completion of finite number of steps. Suppose if we have a for loop like for I is equals to 0, I less than n, I plus plus, if the n value is 5, then it should be repeated for 5 times. So here when first initially the value of I is equal to 0, next comes the I is equals to 1, next comes the I is equals to 2, next 3, next 4, next 5. After performing I is equals to 5, that is 5 is equals to 5, it will perform I plus plus again. So whenever if we are performing I plus plus, now the I value will be 6. So whenever it is encountered 6 is equal to 5, that should be terminated and it should give the proper answer. So that should not be executed whenever. That is the meaning of what? Finiteness. What is the meaning of definiteness? Now next comes the characteristic, that is definiteness. What is the meaning of definiteness? Definiteness means each instruction should be clear and that should not be ambiguous. What is the meaning of ambiguous? Ambiguous means creating confusion to the system, either to execute the first instruction or the second instruction. So whenever we are writing an algorithm, the instruction should be in a definite way. That should not create any confusion. So next comes what? The effectiveness. Every instruction must be very basic so that it can be carried out in principle by a person using only paper and pencil. Means whatever we are giving the input, output, and finiteness, definiteness. So after performing all these four steps, the answer should be in an effective way, that there should not be any errors or any misleadings to the provided output. So that's all the students. This is the first topic of an algorithm. So once again, I would like to cover up all this. An algorithm is an step-by-step instructions to perform a given task. Whenever to perform any task, it must satisfy the following criteria, that is input, output, finiteness, definiteness, effectiveness. So these are the 5 major characteristics that an algorithm should follow. Thank you for watching, students. That's all about algorithm.